Hey guys, how's it going? Thanks for coming back to the tree. Hope you all have had a great week. Mine's actually been really good. The weather's starting to get a lot better. It's warmer, the sun's out more. I'm able to get out on my bike, which I really like, and keeping up with my volunteering, so that's good. This week, I'm going to be doing a response video to a movie review Andre Meadows of Black Nerd Comedy did on his channel a while back of Wreck-It Ralph. If you haven't seen the movie already, here's a brief summary of what it's all about. The movie starts out at an arcade where after the arcade closes, all the video game characters kind of come to life and interact with each other in various games or in Game Central Station. Kind of the Toy Story feel to it, so that's the first point that I really like about this movie. In the first scene of the movie, a whole bunch of villains and bad guys from all the different arcade games gather together in the ghost jail of Pac-Man for a kind of villain self-help group, get everything out, let's talk about it kind of thing, which is, it's a good idea. Villains have problems too, so why not talk about them? One person that shows up there is Wreck-It Ralph, and he basically says to everyone, I'm a bad guy, but I don't want to be a bad guy anymore, which makes everyone else freak out because you can't, they tell him that you can't go messing with the system. But Ralph decides, no, I'm going to be a good guy. So he game jumps into a game called Hero's Duty, which is like a first-person shooter kind of thing. And in there, he gets a medal for, well, he doesn't beat the game because he actually just cheats his way through. But still, he gets a medal, and then he's working his way back out of the game, but of course, chaos ensues, and everything goes wild. Ralph eventually gets out of the game, but he doesn't return to his own game. He accidentally gets pushed into a game called Sugar Rush, which is kind of like a Mario Kart racer kind of game. It looks like a lot of fun. In that game, he meets a character, a little girl named Vanellope von Schweetz, and she's a glitch, so none of the racers want her around, and it's really sad because she really wants to race, but they don't want her, so it's hard for her. Vanellope ends up getting Ralph's medal and says to him, okay, if you can help me be a racer, then I will get you your medal back. And he's like, yeah, okay. So the whole movie is basically in Sugar Rush, which isn't so bad because it's a colorful place, and it's a really cool game to be in. Or it looks like it is anyway. It doesn't exist. I don't know why, but whatever. Now, as I said before, this is just a response video to Andre's review. This is not a review of my own at all. Just want to talk about some things that I liked about the movie, and just, I hope you guys did too, if you've seen it. If you haven't, you definitely should. The thing I noticed about this movie, because it's fairly obvious, is that it's animated with great animation. It's been quite a while since I've seen an animated movie that I really liked. I think the last one might have been How to Train Your Dragon, which came out, I think, 2 years ago, something like that. And I've missed animated movies. I mean, I'm getting older. We're all getting older, but who doesn't love a good animated movie once in a while? Am I right? Second thing that I really, really liked about this movie was the concept. Just the theme of knowing who you are or discovering who you are and just making the most of it, using it to just be the best you that you can be. And I think that speaks to all of us, every single person on this planet. Now on to the meat and potatoes of what this Geek Speak is really all about, the characters. There are so many characters in this whole video game arcade movie that I really liked and I really liked to dislike. I'm going to try to do these in the order that they appeared in the movie, so if you haven't seen the movie, this is kind of how they show up. First off, of course, Ralph. He's he's actually a really cool guy. He's not like a jerk villain. He's a misunderstood villain. And his outfit, it's pretty sweet too. I mean, he's got overalls, and who doesn't like overalls, right? Next character that I saw pop up, since all the villains are in the Pac-Man Ghost Jail, there's the Pac-Man Ghost, the orange Pac-Man Ghost actually. That doesn't really make any difference to the purpose of me mentioning it, but I like seeing the Pac-Man Ghost there. It's a nice, this movie has so many references, and some of them are quick, some of them are ongoing, but I really like it. I mentioned him earlier, Zangief. He's I don't know what game he's from, but I kind of want to find out just so I can go and play the game and say that I've played Zangief's game, because yeah, he looks pretty badass, so yay for Zangief. Being a Mario fan and a Nintendo player, I cannot go through this video without mentioning that Bowser is in the movie. He's one of the villains at the self-help meeting. It's really awesome. And when Ralph actually says, I don't want to be a bad guy anymore, I want to be a good guy, and all the villains are shocked. His jaw like drops and he shoots out fireballs that I think actually hit the Pac-Man Ghost and make him go all blue. So that was pretty good. And then really quick character reference, like maybe 5 seconds, when Ralph is leaving the Pac-Man jail to go back to his game, he's walking and a little kind of a notice comes up. Actually, the notice doesn't come up, but there's Sonic, and he's saying, remember, if you die out of your game, you won't regenerate. Which would be pretty important to remember in a video arcade, because you've got so many game jumps, and there's a lot of scary stuff in other games, I'm not going to lie. Then, as Ralph is just about to go back to his own game, he stumbles upon Q*bert. And Q*bert, that game, I think the Q*bert game actually was disbanded in the arcade, yet somehow all the Q*bert characters stayed. So they're all just kind of chilling with little boxes. They kind of look like homeless video game characters, which is really sad. So he's there, and Ralph actually jacked a cherry from Pac-Man. So he's taking that back to his game, but he sees Q*bert, and he's like, oh, here buddy, have a cherry. And that's pretty fun. It's great to see Q*bert. I haven't played Q*bert's game, but might be another one that I have to check out. Then, of course, I can't go without mentioning Felix himself, Felix Jr. Felix looks about, on the game, maybe like in his teens or something, and he's just all peppy and full of, hey, I can do it, I can fix it, and stuff like that. So I really like that. And his hammer fixes anything. Actually, in the Sugar Rush realm, he's put in the dungeon, or the fudge dungeon. I don't know what they were thinking there. Whatever. And he kind of pulls one of the bars loose, and he says, or he doesn't say, but he thinks, well, I have a hammer, let's smash the bars. But he hits them and they grow bigger. So he says, why do I fix everything that I touch? Kind of funny parody of why do I break everything that I touch? But you guys knew that. You guys knew what I was talking about. I don't know what I'm saying. When Ralph goes into the game Hero of Duty, he comes across this warrior chick, really tough, voiced by Jane Lynch. I don't actually remember the character's name, but it's Jane Lynch, so you know it's going to be good. She's completely despicable on Glee, so you know that's going to be nice. Vanellope is such a sweet character. I mean, figuratively and literally, because she's in a game called Sugar Rush, and sugar is definitely associated with sweet, so haha, little joke there. Okay, yes, I know that was lame, but give me a break. Now on to the characters that I liked to dislike. There's only a few of them, but I think I have pretty good reasons for it. Maybe. You guys be the judge. The next few characters are from Sugar Rush, because that's mainly where the game takes place. And first up is King Candy. Now, I know, like, he's a king, he shouldn't be a character you dislike, but... And at first, he's alright. I mean, he's a big character, he's kind of a little bit flamboyant, exuberant in his speech and stuff like that, but as the movie progresses, he's kind of a jerk, because he wants to stop Penelope from being a racer and following her dream, which isn't cool in any way, I find. There is King Candy's minion, Sour Bell. He's a sour, I think Candy might actually be Sour Bell, since that would make his name really actually make sense. So there's him, and the reason I don't like him is because he's not so much sour as he is depressing, and who really wants that? I mean, when he introduces King Candy, he's not excited. He's like, here's how he introduces King Candy. All hail King Candy, ruler of Sugar Rush. I'm not a fan. Not a fan in the least. Then there's Taffeta. You know, in middle school or like high school or junior high, you'd always have the girly cliques, and they would basically talk smack about everyone else because the one kind of ringleader of the group would talk bad first, and then everyone else would just follow. Yeah, well, that's Taffeta. She's the first one that speaks up when she realizes that Penelope's entered herself in the race. So she gets all the other racers, they're all girls, except for King Candy. I'm confused about that, but whatever. And she's just not nice. She's that one little brat that completely ruins everyone else's dreams. Amongst all the character references I've already mentioned throughout the movie, there are a few more that I noticed that I think are pretty good to mention. When Ralph is going from Pac-Man to Fix-It Felix Jr., while he's walking, there's palms, you know, dunk, dunk, dunk. So I like that shout out. It's a nice little tribute to I think the first generation of gamers. It's actually pretty nice. Then there's the gamer's cheat, or the gamer's code, or whatever it's called. The up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, start, select, or select, start. And when I watched this movie for the first time on DVD, I was actually at the youth center, and one of the volunteers, he's maybe like early 30s, so he picked up on that, and he just started bursting out laughing. And I actually know the game is cheat from one of Screen Team's videos. Chad and Angie did a Gamer Girl music video, which was a parody of something girl. I'll put it in the description below if you want to check it out, but I know it from there, so it's cool. Then my absolute favorite reference in this entire movie has to be the Oreos that guard King Candy's castle. Now, this reference is actually to The Wizard of Oz, which I was in when my school did it for my grade 12 year, and I was the Winky General. So all the Winkies would say, "Oreo, Oreo," and in the movie, when the Oreos do it. They sing Oreo, Oreo. So I got a kick out of that because it had kind of a personal bond for me, a personal tie-in, and I think when movies do that, when movies can make you think of something that you did in your own life, I think that's what makes a really good movie. So that was my Geek Speak of Wreck-It Ralph. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, punch the like button, comment below, and subscribe to me if you haven't already to be notified of all my latest videos. You can also follow me on Facebook at ManWaveTree or on Twitter at ZXK77. As always, leave some comments, share my videos, and just spread the love. Alright guys, I'm out. Keep on keeping on.